It's Derby week here in Hong Kong, and we warm up on Wednesday nights at Happy Valley with an 8-race programme. The Ewo Challenge Trophy is our feature race on the night. A very warm welcome to Racing to Win. I'm Andrew Lejeune, joined in the studio here by our former analyst Paul Lally and race caller Brett Davis as well. Brett, and I think we've got an early St Patrick's Day theme as well at the City on Wednesday. Yeah,
there'll be plenty happening, of course, at Happy Valley, of course, as we head towards the Derby on the weekend. And all 5s, 4s and 3s for the 8-race card at Happy Valley. Some interesting horses on debut. Some interesting names as well. Fat Turtle is one on debut, and Kung Fu Master Panda finally makes his debut at the races.
Yeah, I think he's got an upgrade. His name used to be Maths Prize, which is a little bit on the boring side, isn't it? Kung Fu Master Panda is a bit more punch about that.
If you say so, Andrew.
Jackpot-wise, Paul, what do we got?
Nothing. No, there's no jackpots to talk about. As we mentioned, there's a host of first starters. A couple of horses on a hat-trick as well, Wame Princess and also Clear Choice. So some good betting opportunities throughout the card.
Derby draw is on Thursday lunchtime. Be pretty important, I think, still.
Definitely. Always important at 2,000 metres. Short run to the first bend. Furore, Dark Dream, Waikuku, if they draw 12, 13, 14. There'll be a lot of other people smiling, that's for sure. Very important.
Yeah, the weather important as well. There's a bit of rain around on the weekend. Dark Dream would certainly appreciate if it kept raining as well. Before we get into Wednesday night's programme, let's look back on the action in the weekend with our racing review. Lusitano Challenge Cup was the feature race on the dirt. We're going to look at a couple of the Class 1s there. We actually started the day with a Class 1. 1,200 metres the trip, and Wishful Thinker, well-backed favourite, and Julia Byne.
Yep, 6 wins now from 14 starts for the 5-year-old by I Am Invincible. He's going the best he's ever gone, even from day 1, day 2 probably, when he had his second start. He always looked to ooze a little bit of class. He's just got better and better with more racing, and potentially to Dubai now, possibly.
Yeah, it's definitely on the table, isn't it? And it was a really good win from him, and it was quite easy in the end, wasn't he? Yeah. He sort of pulled up just at the end there, so yeah, good win.
Yeah, I had to ride him slightly differently. Normally he'd drop back in. It's De Sosa's first ride on the horse as well, and he has reported, I remember Alexi Bedell saying when he was riding, he does have a few quirks, he's a bit tricky, but sat up outside Gunnarson's shoulder.
Jenny made mention on the day, actually, you know, the situation with travelling, potentially with a horse like him, he's a little bit fiery and so forth. So I guess that's probably in the back of Richard's mind and the connections as well, but he is in super form. A lot of horses go to Dubai and potentially don't come back as well. There's always that little concern as well that he might lose his form, because there are options here in Hong Kong in the next 6 weeks to 2 months.
Yeah, Richard's expressed an interest in taking Gold Mount to Dubai as well, so possibly double-handed there. The second of the Class 1s was over the 1,600 metres, and you can see Rise High out so wide. Finally, well, I say finally delivered, but he delivered in style.
Yeah, it was a good run from him, wasn't it? The favourite there, what else but you, just came off Pingui Sparks back there and sort of kicked a little bit clear, but a really good run from Rise High. He never gave it up, and he got there in the shadows of the post, so it was a good run. Take nothing away from the second horse as well. I thought it was a good run from him as well. He just, the winner just got the better run on him and hit the line nicely.
We've made mention a few times in the last few shows, Andrew, about these horses that come from Ireland. He's another one, Rise High, undefeated over there, won a Group 3 as well. Casper's been very patient with him. He's been quite bullish too in some of the interviews, suggesting that he's a really, really nice horse, and we haven't seen the best of him yet. And it's good to see him getting a little bit of continuity with his runs now. That was a really nice performance. Stretched away beautifully in the end, and yes, Regan Bayliss, good to see him with a double and a second as well. Nearly got away with the last two. Yeah,
so Regan on the board, and yeah, I think he's a nice horse. There, Seasons Bloom, big weight, ran well, and good standing. Unfortunately, pulled up with blood in his track here, didn't he? So an excuse for him. But you can see there's a couple of big moves. Champions Way still unbeaten. Winner Supreme bolted up on the all-weather as well.
Yeah, he did. So did Simply Big. He got 8 points for that victory, and Guy Dragon, probably the best back runner of the day. Don't often see them brown-lamped in place betting, but he was brown-lamped win and place, and Julie got the money in a 4-way finish.
Yeah, he's rated 60 now, so there's options there for them as well, isn't there?
Up or down.
There was a number of huge goes. First, probably half dozen races in actual fact, and a number of them came off as well. All right, those are the big winners on the weekend. See if we can find you some more now with our horses to follow. All right, the stack of first starters on the weekend. Paul, and you found a horse. He was a dual winner in the UK before he came here.
Yeah, exactly. Now, he is named Grandma Win here now. And, look, he was playing up a bit, so he was a bit of a naughty Grandma before the race. But once he got onto the track, very professional, he was well back, and you can see him threading his way through the field. It's over 1,000 metres and finished a nice fourth. Now, he did run over this sort of trip in 1,200 in the UK, so good run from him, I should say, and a win doesn't look too far away. I thought he hit the line very strongly, so they'll be pretty happy the way he ran on debut.
Yeah, I think so. Sixth in the Coventry Stakes when he was with Richard Furry. 93.20 was his name. What about you, Brett?
I prefer Grandma Win, actually. Smart Rocket for me. The reason I'm going to throw him up, he's quite an obvious one, obviously. He won at Sha Tin 2 starts ago. Happy Valley didn't suit him. But in that race at Happy Valley, prior to it, either Edward or Tom caught up with Chad Schofield, and they suggested that they were very confident the horse would run well. He didn't. I think it was because of the track. They've gone back to Sha Tin, and he's run a really, really nice race. Made up a lot of ground on the eventual first and second in Sky Treasure and Chairman Lowe. So I just get the feeling, still a 3-year-old, lots of progress still to come from Smart Rocket.
Yeah, Chairman Lowe in front, just before the line, in front, just after the line. Sky Treasure right on.
He's entered for the weekend too, I've noticed, Chairman Lowe.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay, might be the quick backup for him. All right, so my horse, Triumphant Horse. Now, you need to go back and watch the whole race, really, because out of the gates, he wasn't that quick. He played up a little bit as well. You can actually hear Umberto on the barrier cam there, or the barrier mic, I should say. But when he got out and got rolling, this is Champion's Way in front, so he's 3 from 3 unbeaten. Solar YY, I think, is a nice horse as well. And he closes off all bar Champion's Way. He's got the fastest last sectional, just his second start. And he actually pulled up lame the next day with a cut above his stifle. So I think there's probably a bit more to come from him.
Former Victorian galloper. Actually raced at the Sunshine Coast for his debut. Bugari was his name. There was money for him too early on.
There was. All right, there you go. Triumphant Horse for me. As far as suspensions and fines are concerned, well, Chad Schofield, we're going back to Namjong Plus at Happy Valley, 24th to 28th. Chad is out for plus 40,000 for Namjong Plus.
He's got a couple of suspensions coming up, Chad.
All right. I think that brings us up to date then as far as looking back is concerned. So we start to look forward to Happy Valley. Horse is not going round. Trenderful, it would have been a big chance as well, replaced by Peace on Earth, and Berta Rispoli would have ride him. So that's in the opening contest. Then Brave Legend, another probably lively chance there, replaced by Mighty Maverick, and Joe Moreira picks up the ride there. So race 7, number 3. Mighty Maverick now gets a start. So meeting number 54 of the season. We're on the B course this week. 8 races, of course, as always, and the feature race comes up as race number 4. We kick things off with a Class 5 over the 1,200 metres, headed by Bullish Brother, who gets into Class 5 for the first time. Matthew Poon takes £3 off. Lucky Lucky, another Class 5 for the first time for him. District Express, 3rd in his last 2 starts. Show Mission was a winner over the 1,000 metres 2 starts back. Raichu gets the blinkers off, 4th behind Trenderful last time. Nashashuk gets the blinkers on. He finished 8th behind Trenderful. Happy Happy, right down at the bottom there, runner-up behind the Show last time out. He's got a beautiful draw in Barrier 2. Matthew Chadwick in the saddle. Winning Circle, Ambitious Speedy and Wish Come True have all been up at Chung Fa within the last month.
2 that drop in grade, Bullish Brother, Lucky Lucky, both have good pace. And I get the feeling, Matthew Poon won the last race at Happy Valley the last time we were at the circuit on your long shot, Andrew, and I get the feeling that Tony Crews will tell him to go forward and just keep improving if possible on Bullish Brother. And he may well do that. I think he'll roll to the front with Lucky Lucky, and they can set up a solid tempo.
Here is Lucky Lucky. He's the one with the orange saddle cloth closest to us, downgraded. Still a maiden after his 22 starts. Has run some quite good races in Class 4. Now comes to Class 5 for the first time, so should find it a bit easier. Well, Lucky Lucky. Nashashuk, he runs nice enough. I thought I'd show him because he's wearing blinkers for the first time. You can see him galloping okay once again, or for the first time, or in those blinkers, and he moves nice enough, and he'll wear them on race day. He's got barrier number 1 as well. And Happy Happy down the back straight. Matthew Chadwick aboard this horse. He ran probably his best race last start when he ran a nice second behind the Show from a low barrier draw. He'll get his opportunity as well. All
right, so we can have a look at Happy Happy in a moment or so. We'll kick off, though, with Show Mission, Winning Circle and Nashashuk. Now, they were beaten by Trenderful, but Trenderful's a scratching.
He is. Show Mission's got 11 barriers, so that's a little tricky for him, but he's in good form. Winning Circle's drawn 8 as opposed to 2 here, so that could be a bit tricky. I'm actually going to stick with Nashashuk. I liked him going into this race. I thought his run at Sha Tin behind Rich City Fortune was terrific, and now he's drawn a barrier with blinkers on. Joe Moreira as well. So I'm going to stick with him because I liked him there and it didn't all work out, but it might do Wednesday night.
Yeah, I liked Winning Circle in that race. I'm going to stick with him as well because I wasn't disappointed with that run and he should be able to slot in midfield for me.
All right, District Express has had a couple of starts now in Class 5, finished third on both occasions. Switches back to Happy Valley. Yeah,
and second in a recent trial to a horse called Speedy Optimus as well at Shah 10 back on the 5th of March. He was the interesting runner in the race for me. I'm not quite sure where he fits in because he hasn't been to Happy Valley for quite some time, and when he was there, he wasn't in form, but his last two efforts have been okay.
Definitely is great, isn't it, Class 5? I mean, he's been there twice and been placed twice. I've got him in on the minor line.
OK, one more race to have a look at, and it is Happy Happy. We saw in track work and a Ride Choose. This is last time out for Happy Happy. 2 starts back for Ride Choose.
Yeah, I've dropped off Ride Choose. He does run some consistent races and he's got a nice draw, but the blinkers, they tried him last time and they're taking them off straight away with Ride Choose, so we'll be interested to see how he goes with that. Happy Happy I've got on the numbers. I was just saying to Brett off here, I'd love to see that horse on the dirt, being by Rip Van Winkle. Never raced on the dirt in his career.
I actually liked him that night. They put him over a longer trip prior to that, and I thought that might just toughen him up a little bit. It did. He ran a good race. I'll sneak him in again.
All right, wide open for the opener, Paul. Nasher Shook the favourite.
Yeah, really open race here. I've got Winning Circle on top. I think he'll come up a good each-way price. Happy Happy, District Express, and then Lucky Lucky's downgraded. 6, 12, 4 and 3. Happy to go 6 each way.
I'll stick with Nasher Shook off the good barrier, with Joe, of course, resuming riding on Wednesday night. Bullish Brother, I think, will jump to the lead and give some cheek. If not, go all the way. Happy Happy, Rachu 8, 1, 12, 7.
Yeah, I think it's pretty open. I ended up with Rachu. I know what you're saying, Paul, but I think the blinkers just fired him up a little bit too much, so hopefully he'll relax a bit more with them off on Wednesday. That's the opening contest. Again, the feature race comes up as race number 4. 1,200 again for race number 2, but Class 4 contest.